Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's cold. In Texas, it literally gets cold for like maybe a total of 30 days if we're lucky, like in the winter, but right now is one of those 30. And so I've decided that I really want some cute graphic tees and I don't have any and I don't want to pay money for them. So we're gonna make some. And this is actually going to be a thrift flip technically because I went to Goodwill and I saw these two Calvin Klein t-shirts that are 100% cotton and like literally they were $3 each. So I spent $6 and they're just literally a basic white knit and they're 100% cotton. So we're going to be dyeing them. And I have these two Rit dyes. I think I'm gonna go with the wine color, but I might throw a little bit of the indigo in just to get like a more plummy color. I'm not totally certain yet, but like I think my plan for this is I'm going to be like trying to do a fun dye pattern. And then I also have been working on doing some little like samples using some old block prints of mine to print onto fabric because I recently learned that if you use screen printing ink and do it on the block prints, you can print on fabric and it's washable. So that's been like huge for me. I've been making a ton of patches and stuff this past few weeks. But this is my favorite block print I've ever done. And I was like, what if I did this on a shirt? So I think we're gonna try it. So this is gonna be kind of like a fun experimental moment. But it's also just a really easy DIY and I made a really cute shirt pattern. It's available on my website in a wide variety of sizes. And like I've already used it to make like other cute t-shirts. So I'm really excited. I think this will be really fun, and if I can make my own cool graphic t-shirts, I think this will be huge for me. So I'm excited. But I think first we need to do some dye samples. So to my kitchen. Literally wore all black layers for this. Okay, yeah, that took to the dye really fast. Now that I had done my dye samples and kind of gotten an idea for exactly what I wanted to do on this top, I went ahead and started cutting out my pattern pieces. And the first thing I did is I kind of just cut all my t-shirts at their seams so that I could lay them out to be just like flat pieces of fabric. And I found that easier to just like place my pattern pieces onto them and work that way. And I forgot to do my classic like top-down shots for these pieces, so I made a diagram of their measurements on the side here for you guys to reference. Well, I just realized that I should have cut both the sleeve parts like on the back side of the shirt because that's the longest piece I have to work with, but instead I cut a front and a back out of just one of the shirts and I was gonna cut both the sleeves out of the other shirt. It's not long enough. I'm like, do we do like a little like patchwork moment? We're gonna have to do something. Your girl's got long arms. And so I decided to just do some funky little seams on my sleeves, and so I just folded my pattern wherever I wanted the seams to hit, and then added a 1/2 inch seam allowance on wherever the joins would be. I'm making it a design detail. And then I also decided to use the hem of the shirt as the hem of the sleeve, and then the last piece you need is the collar. And now I'm going ahead and dyeing all my fabric pieces for realsies, and I did half of the sleeves in a darker pink and then the other half in a lighter pink for a little mismatch look. And then I kind of went ahead and did this more controlled tie-dye look on the front and back. And I decided to go with the look of the pre-wet fabric because it just gave it a more blended look. All right, well it is the next day and I was really excited to get started on this and start printing on my fabric. But it rained overnight and I left everything to hang and dry outside. And I don't have a dryer, so I just hung a little clothing line in front of my heater. So now I'm waiting on that. That might be too much. Okay, I'm happy I did a sample because I definitely learned that I need to add and mix up way more ink. But, I mean, it's kind of cute. I was hoping it would be clearer so I could like make it into like a tapestry, but definitely need more ink. Okay, I'm so nervous. This is really a one shot, one try. I'm literally so nervous. Okay, I can work with that. I can work with that. It's not perfect. Some of the parts are a little too dark, but I do think overall it's pretty freaking cool. Ah, it's gonna be so awesome. And after I heat set my prints, it's finally time to actually start sewing this shirt. And it's honestly a really quick and easy sew. I'm just putting the front and back pieces pretty side to pretty side, pinning them together at the shoulder seams and their side seams. And I'm sewing this part with a straight stitch because my fabric is only a 2-way stretch. But if you're using a 4-way stretch fabric, I definitely recommend using a stretch stitch. And now for the sleeves. Because I'm doing this kind of design detail, I'm just sewing these pieces together first. And because the seam is on the stretch of the fabric, I will be using a stretch stitch, and this is my favorite one on my machine, but a zigzag stitch would also work. And I'm just sewing those pieces straight across. But to get a more finished look, I really wanted to do some top stitching. So I'm going to be switching out my needle for my double pointed needle. And if you've never used one of these, don't be intimidated. They're really not difficult. I put it off for so long because I was nervous about them. But you just switch out your needle and then you add a second spool on top of where your bobbin goes. They usually come with a little attachment, and thread your machine totally normally. I like to just hold my first thread so it doesn't get bunched anywhere. And then the only thing that's different is you're only going to put one of the threads through the little tension bar. And then you just use a regular straight stitch. So I always like to test it out before using it on my actual fabric, but then I just turned my seam allowance and top stitched it down. And double pointed needles also are a stretch stitch, so this will actually stretch with the fabric. And now I'm just folding the sleeves in half and sewing them together down the underarm seam. And because this is not on the stretch of the fabric, for this I also just used a straight stitch. And now to attach the sleeves to the armhole. The front bodice will have one notch in the armhole and then the back will have 2 notches. And so we're going to turn our sleeve pretty side out, put it inside of the armhole so that our pieces of fabric are pretty side to pretty side. And then you're going to match the underseams together and both of the notches. And then you're going to kind of stretch and evenly space out the rest of the sleeve to the armhole. And normally when you're installing a sleeve, you would do the basting stitches to kind of pull some tension on the sleeve to help it fit into the armhole better. But because this is a knit, you kind of just want to stretch the armhole ever so slightly so that the armhole will fit around the cap of the sleeve. And now we're going to work on the collar. So I just took the little collar piece, folded it in half, and sewed it together down the short side. And And here I'm just marking the center front of the neckband, and then I'm also marking the center front and center back of the neckline on the shirt. And we're going to pin those pieces in place first so that we can evenly space out the rest of the neckband. And we're going to put these pieces pretty side to pretty side. And again, you're going to kind of stretch the collar while you're sewing this, just so that it fits evenly into the neckline. And this part you're going to want to do with a stretch stitch. And now to finish up the neckline, you're going to fold it up and over the seam allowance, and then pin this in place all the way around. And I don't worry about folding this up again because knits don't unravel, and so there's no reason to add extra bulk to get a finished edge on the inside. So I'm just pinning this all the way around, switching out my needle for the double point again, and I'm going to top stitch this down all the way around. And I love the way this neckline looks. I think it looks very clean and professional. And then on the inside, you just want to trim down all of this extra fabric. And again, knits don't unravel, so this is a totally fine finish on the inside. And now we're just going to hem the bottom of the shirt, and I'm folding it up about 1/2 inch, pinning it. And again, I'm not going to double fold it because I don't want to add extra bulk to my knit when there's not really any reason to. And then I'm using my double pointed needle and top stitching it down. And you would also want to hem your sleeves now if you did not use the hem of the shirt, but I already did, so these are totally finished. And that's it for the shirt. I'm honestly really proud of how this shirt turned out. I used some techniques I had never done before, and I'm quite obsessed. I already want to make some more block prints so that I can print more shirts. And like I said, I've already used this pattern to make some other shirts, so I'll show you guys that variation as well. And on this shirt, I used the dye as more of a paint so that I could create this cute star pattern. And this star on the sleeve was actually a patch to cover a hole in the fabric, and I'm quite obsessed with how it turned out. And I just made this one at a more cropped length, and I am really obsessed with how both of these turned out. But this pattern is so fun and easy and customizable, and I think it's just such a fun way to make some unique shirts for the winter. So I hope you guys have fun with it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!